to be fair, you have now Twitter or X, that seemingly becoming more pro freedom of speech. It's a great development, and things are starting to change, it seems. We love the fact that Elon bought Twitter. We thought it was a great development for a number of reasons. First reason is just innovation. You could see X trying a lot of things. Some of them will turn out to be mistakes. Some of them will work, but at least they're trying to innovate. That's something we didn't have outside of Telegram and a few other companies in this industry for the last 10 years. What X is trying to do is innovation, trying different things, trying to give power to the creators, trying to get the ecosystem economy going. Those are all exciting things, and I think we need more companies like that. I don't know if it's good for humanity that Elon is spending so much time on Twitter making it better, but it's definitely good for the social media industry.
This is my video update on this Sunday afternoon, August the 25th. Let's talk about some news, and there is one story that is dominating the news cycle today, and that is the arrest of Telegram founder, and I believe he is the managing director, CEO of Telegram as well. That is Pavel Durov. He was arrested in France. Rumor has it that his plane from Azerbaijan going to an unknown destination was going to stop in Paris, France to refuel, but maybe he was going to actually stay in France. We still don't have a clear understanding as to why he was going to stop in France, or if he was going to just refuel and move onwards to another destination. But whatever the case, as his plane was about to land in France, 5 minutes before landing, the French authorities, they issued an arrest warrant, and that was it. He had no chance, no warning about what was going to happen. And as his plane landed in France, he was arrested. The information that we know so far, and this is not 100% either, but the information that we have is that Durov is accused of aiding in drug trafficking, PEDO stuff, and terrorism, because of his connection to Telegram and the fact that Telegram is a platform that is hosting this type of stuff, this type of activity, and is not properly moderating to censor this type of activity and this type of messaging that allegedly happens on Telegram. It happens on all kinds of apps, to be fair, including, from what I understand, including on big tech social media platforms, for example, Instagram and Facebook. But they're going after Pavel Durov. And the French authorities, it is believed that the French authorities are acting on the orders of the three-letter agencies in the United States and the Biden White House. That is also a rumor that has not yet been confirmed, but don't be surprised if there is an extradition issued for Pavel Durov to the United States, to France, so that they can extradite Durov to the United States, or maybe they will keep him in France, charge him, and he could be facing 20 years in prison. There are rumors that he was in Azerbaijan flying to France, and rumor has it, and this is just a rumor, that he was in Azerbaijan at the same time that Russian President Vladimir Putin was in Azerbaijan, and Pavel Durov was actually seeking an audience with the Russian president and with Kremlin officials so that he can find a way back to Russia from Dubai to Russia. His company, Telegram, and Pavel Durov. They were based in Dubai, and Durov himself has said in many videos and interviews that he tries to avoid travel because he understands the risk of traveling, given his platform and his connection to Telegram as a free speech platform. So that's what we know at this moment. There are some people speculating that what the collective West wants, what France wants, the European Union, the three-letter agencies in the United States, what they want is access to Telegram's messaging and its encryption technology. I don't quite believe that, because I've read quite a lot of analysis, technical analysis on Telegram's encryption tech, and from what I gather, Telegram's encryption it's good, but it's not the safest out there. There are other apps which are much more secure than Telegram's messaging, and those apps have been infiltrated by the three-letter agencies. They've been able to get at apps that are much more secure than Telegram. So it doesn't seem like this is about getting access to their encryption keys and their encryption technology and stuff like that. It does look like, and by the way, from what I understand, messages in Telegram are not securely encrypted unless they're made as they're sent as secret messages. Anyway, it doesn't seem like this is about getting access to the messaging or to the encrypted messaging of Telegram, even though there are government employees and other users of Telegram now that are trying to wipe away messages. Maybe that is the case. I don't know, but if I had to take a guess as to what's really going on, I think it's two things, maybe one of two things, or maybe both. They want Telegram to censor content that they don't like. Now, Telegram has censored content, so it has played ball with the collective West, not completely. It hasn't complied 100%, but keep in mind that Telegram, at the request of the collective West and the sanctions that they placed on Russian media, Telegram has censored Russian media outlets. For example, RT. The RT channel, and a lot of RT links and messages from various channels that RT runs, or channels that are trying to share RT links, RT website links. Those are censored by Telegram at the request of the collective West. Actually, Margarita Simonian, the editor of RT, she posted about Pavel Durov, making that point, saying that Pavel Durov, yes, Telegram is a free speech, positions itself as free speech, and doesn't censor to the extent of the other big tech platforms, but it did play ball with the collective West when it came to censoring Russia Today, RT, and Margarita Simonian, she made the point, you did decide to censor RT. You went along with the requests of the collective West, and did it protect you? No, they still went after you. They always demand 100% compliance. That's the takeaway from the censorship machine, and when the collective West and the three-letter agencies, the deep state, call it whatever you want, the globalists, when they demand that you comply with their orders and censorship, they demand 100% compliance, not 90% compliance, not 50% compliance, 100%. So, Telegram has censored content, and it does censor content, though not like Instagram, for example, or Facebook or something like that. But I believe that this is about, the reason they arrested Durov is they want to get Telegram to comply 100% with censorship requests. So they arrest Durov, they arrest the founder. His brother is also one of the founders and one of the top guys in Telegram, and they're putting pressure, I imagine, on the company. They put pressure on his brother, so that eventually Telegram caves in. I imagine that's one of the reasons that they arrested Durov, right? The second reason, I believe, and this is just a guess on my end, that they're going after Durov, and it could be a combination of things. I'm not saying that one is exclusive to the other reason, but I think they're very worried about the token, the crypto currency, the ton coin, TON, that Telegram has successfully launched. The TON coin, the ton coin, which is part of the Telegram ecosystem, has actually grown so big that it is now the 9th biggest crypto. If you go by coin market caps rankings, this has become a huge coin, a huge cryptocurrency. It started off in 2017, 2018. I believe they raised $1 billion or $1.5 billion dollars to get the whole thing up off the ground, the ton coin. And it had a very rocky start in 2017, 2018. But eventually, over the years, especially over the past couple of years, it's gotten the ton coin. I believe it's an entire layer 1 blockchain as well. I think they've ironed out a lot of the technical glitches and a lot of the problems that it had. It still has problems, but they ironed out a lot of the issues from when the token first launched, and it grew, and it's been widely adopted. And I think this is freaking the collective West out, because think about it. Telegram launches a payment system that bypasses fiat, the USD, and fiat around the world, actually, currencies around the world. It bypasses all of that, and you have a built-in community of users, of buyers, of dApps, developers. It's there. It's all in Telegram. And they're going to be using the ton coin to develop dApps for transactions, to purchase stickers, emojis, games, whatever. Maybe even to make cross-border payments to friends and family. It has its own wallet now. So, I mean, the ton coin blew up. It really blew up. And I think this is freaking out the collective West. And they said, okay, we got to get on top of this. Because basically what Telegram did, because Durov and his brother's like a math genius. And Durov that guy's freaking smart. I mean, you listen to him in interviews. He's smart. His brother, from what I understand, is just a math computer programming genius. What these guys did is what the Zuckbot and Facebook could not do, right? Facebook tried to do the whole currency thing inside of Facebook, the crypto token thing with the Libra coin, and they bombed big time. I mean, they failed in a spectacular way. Facebook can't innovate. Facebook is a company that's terrible at innovating. They're terrible at creating new services. What they do is they buy companies. They buy Instagram. They buy WhatsApp, and that's how they remain relevant. But they tried the whole payment inside the Facebook platform, and they played ball with the big banks and the globalist machine. I mean, they played ball with all of them. They got them to sign up as partners, but people weren't buying it. They didn't want the Libra coin because they just didn't trust the Zuckbot. Rightly so. Would you trust Zuckerberg with your money? Hell no way. But Telegram did it. Telegram did what other big tech companies could not do. I wouldn't be surprised if Facebook may have a hand in all of this. It's just a guess. I wouldn't be surprised if the Zuckbot and some of the Facebook lobbying didn't have a hand in what's going down with Durov right now. But that's just a guess. I'm just guessing. I think it's these two things. It's about getting Telegram to censor, to censor 100% and not half-ass it. And that coin, man, that coin, the fact that it's grown to be so big and so widely adopted, and you look at the roadmap, the white paper for the ton coin token, and they're ambitious. I mean, Telegram has very, very big plans for the entire payment ecosystem on a global scale. Actually, in 2017-18, check this out. Check this out. In 2017 and 18, Telegram, the Russian government, rumors are that the Russian government was pissed off at Telegram. Well, they were pissed off at Telegram, and the official narrative was that they were pissed off with Telegram because Telegram was not complying with the Russian law that came out at the time, which stated that big networks, I forgot what the definition of a large size network was, 10 million users, 20 million users, not important, but social media sites, websites, apps, which had millions and millions of users and were operating inside of Russia, according to this law, which came out in 2017 and 2018, and still being enforced today, is that you had to host Russian citizen data inside of Russia. Not your entire database, Russian citizen data. That had to be hosted inside of the Russian Federation. And when the Russian authorities needed access to that information for criminal probes or investigation, or in order to investigate terrorist activities, whatever it may be, you had to give them access to that database, to the user or the users that they were looking into. And this was a law that was passed in 2017-18. Telegram was, from what I understand, Telegram was not complying, and the Russian government tried to shut down Telegram, but the technical team in Telegram, geniuses, right? These guys are geniuses. They were always one step ahead of the Russian government, and they would come up with ways so that Russian users were able to still access Telegram, even though the government was trying to figure out ways to block access to Telegram. Eventually, in 2020, I'm not sure what happened, but Telegram and the Russian government, they resolved their disputes. Maybe Telegram decided to play ball and said, okay, we'll put some of our Russian user data inside of the Russian Federation. I'm not sure how it got resolved, but it eventually got resolved, and Telegram was operating fully inside of Russia. But back in 2017-18, where am I going with this? I'm basically saying that in 2017-2018, the official narrative was that Telegram was not following this law in Russia. But the rumor that was being reported in Russian media, and this is just a rumor, but big Russian media outlets, reputable Russian media sites, were saying that the real reason Russia was upset with Telegram and going after Telegram was because of the launch of the TON token. And the Russian government was freaked out at this TON token. You got a lot of users in Russia, a lot of users in Russia on Telegram. And they were freaked out that this token was going to screw up the ruble. And so they came down hard on Telegram, at least for a couple of years, until they can get on top of everything that Telegram was about to do with the launch of a financial system, is what they were going to launch. So yeah, that's the story with Telegram and with Pavel Durov. Now, Pavel Durov the guy, as an entrepreneur, he has a history that goes back to VK, VKontakte, which was the Russian, it still is, which was and is the Russian Facebook. Now it's branched out to be a lot more than just a Facebook clone. It has video services. It's got everything. VK's pretty much got everything now. It's a big app, and it's a very well done app. I mean, the technology behind VK is really impressive. But he started VK with two other guys, and those guys then sold their shares to VK to two big investment companies, and Mail.ru eventually ended up swallowing all of VK. Now there's a long story with Pavel Durov and Mail.ru, which swallowed up 100% of VK. Some of the rumors are that that they strong-armed him into selling his 12% stake, and he exited VK. It was pretty bitter, and not a good split. And he's been upset with Russia and the Putin government ever since. There are other rumors which say that this was just basic business. How the startup entrepreneurship game goes. No different than Facebook, and the story behind Facebook and the Winklevoss twins and everything that went down there. What's his name? Sean Parker. Everything that happened with Facebook or other startups, even Twitter. Even Twitter has a lot of controversy, treachery, betrayals, all of these things that happen with startups. I won't get into the rumors of what happened with VKontakte, but Durov eventually he got very upset with Russia. He said, "I'm never coming back to Russia. I'm leaving Russia," and he went to Dubai and started Telegram, and Telegram was a huge hit. And now he is arrested in France. That's, I guess, the irony of it all. Many people are saying, well, if he stayed in Russia, he would have been safe. He wouldn't have been arrested. Probably he would not have been arrested, but he would have had to comply with the law that says that you have to store user data inside of Russia. And when the FSB comes a-calling, you have to give them access. Dmitry Medvedev, he actually put out a post talking about Durov's arrest, and he pretty much said the same thing. Medvedev said, I talked to Durov. His post was along the lines, I'll paraphrase it. His post was, I once spoke to Durov, and I asked him, how come you just don't comply with the Russian law and the Russian intel agencies? Just comply with them, and everything's going to be okay. But Medvedev says, no, you did not want to comply, and you wanted to be a man of the world, a free speech man of the world, and you left Russia, your homeland, and you thought that you would be protected. At the end of the day, Medvedev said, you're still Russian, and you were not protected. You've been arrested now in the collective West. And Medvedev finished his post by saying something along the lines of, just like you cannot choose your family, your blood, you can't choose your homeland either. And you wanted to be a man of the world without a homeland, and look where it got you. That's pretty much what Medvedev said. I'll put it up on the screen, his exact words, so you can read exactly what Medvedev said. Maria Zakharova, she posted about Durov and the arrest. And Zakharova, she said that back in 2018, when the Russian government was pressing Telegram to comply with the law that I talked about, 26 NGOs, they were upset with Russia, saying that Russia is a dictatorship and it's an authoritarian regime. Leave Durov alone. Look at Putin and how he's clamping down on free speech. That's what 26 NGOs went on and on about in 2018. And Zakharova, she makes the point, well, in 2018, you were going hard at Russia because we wanted Telegram to comply with our messaging internet legislation that we had just passed. And what are the NGOs going to say now? Are these 26 NGOs, and we have a list of the 26 NGOs, by the way, are these 26 NGOs going to come down hard on France? Are these 26 NGOs, are they going to demand that France leave Telegram alone? Are these 26 NGOs, Collective West NGOs, are they going to call Macron a dictator and France an authoritarian regime? That's the point that Zakharova made in her post. I believe she posted this on Telegram. She has a huge following on Telegram. Telegram is huge in Russia. Actually, Russia, the Russian Federation is now working, the embassy in France is now working to help, to get access to Pavel Durov and help him out. It's the Russian Federation. When all is said and done, Pavel Durov, it looks like Pavel Durov didn't want anything to do with Russia. He went to Dubai. He became a man of the world, probably thought that the West would never arrest him. And there you have it. The West, that was supposed to be about free speech and the rights, human rights of people, ends up arresting Pavel Durov, and now it's Russia and the Russian government that is now working, the Russian embassy in France that is now working to gain access to Durov, to help him out, to try to figure out a way to protect his rights and maybe even prevent his arrest for 20 years from these charges that may be levied against him. What a crazy freaking story. Elon Musk, he put out a hashtag. I believe his hashtag is Free Pavel Durov, I think is the hashtag that Musk started. Because David Sachs, he put out a post a while back when the whole TikTok thing was going on, and his post says TikTok. They got TikTok. He crosses that out. Number 2 is Telegram. He was right about that. Number 3 on his list is X, Twitter X, and number 4 is Rumble. David Sachs, a tech venture capitalist and someone who knows the entrepreneur space very well, an expert in all of these things. He called it. When they went after TikTok, he said, okay, they got TikTok. Now they're going to go after Telegram. Then they're going to go after X. And eventually they're going to make their way to Rumble. Because when they demand censorship, they demand censorship. And keep in mind that Telegram, I'll wrap it up with this thought. Keep in mind that Telegram was the go-to app for the conflict in Ukraine. The conflict in Ukraine was Telegram. That was the go-to place to get news about what was happening in Ukraine. Pro-Ukraine, pro-Russia, and everything in between. Telegram was reporting on the war in Ukraine. That's what really made Telegram into this huge mega platform. I mean, Telegram was big before the conflict in Ukraine, but man, the conflict in Ukraine, that pushed Telegram to become the app, the go-to app for news and information and following channels and subscribing to channels and all of this stuff. So, a lot of people, they found out the truth about the conflict in Ukraine from Telegram, and they realized that the collective West media and Zelensky's going to win, and Zelensky's going to march to Moscow, and as long as it takes, and all of this nonsense from the collective West media was nonsense. It was nonsense, and the truth about the conflict in Ukraine was being reported by a lot of great channels, a lot of misinformation as well. Don't get me wrong, a lot of misinformation. But when you found out the good channels to subscribe to and to follow, you got the truth about what was happening in the conflict in Ukraine. And even if you weren't subscribed to channels, you were able to get messages showing videos of what was happening in Ukraine and of armor being destroyed and tanks being destroyed, Leopard tanks being destroyed, Abrams tanks being destroyed, Challenger tanks being destroyed. And you found out, hey, it looks like Russia is winning and is winning big. And everything that CNN is telling us in Reuters and all of these speeches from Ursula, and Russia's economy is in tatters, and Trudeau, as long as it takes. All of this stuff was nonsense. You learned a lot from Telegram. You got to the truth. But you had to go through a lot of misinformation. This is true. But that's every social media platform, right? Every social media platform, you have to go through a lot of the misinformation. It usually starts with the big channels. You plug into CNN and MSNBC or whatever, and eventually over time, you realize that they're BSing, and you get to the channels and the accounts that are telling the truth. You eventually find your way if you're clever enough and if you really do have a desire to get to the truth. But Telegram, the conflict in Ukraine, Project Ukraine, that's Telegram. Now Twitter is doing a really good job of reporting the conflict in Ukraine as well. But But Telegram was the go-to. So anyway, that's the story of Durov. I want to see if I've bookmarked the Russian law from 2017-18, which talks about storing Russian citizens' data in the Russian Federation. I think I've bookmarked it. Give me 1 second to see if I've got it. Yeah, so the site RBK, the Russian site, a reputable media site, a business site actually, they reported in 2018 that the Russian government was very worried about the TON coin, the ton coin. They reported on it back in 2018. And Maria Zakharova, she talks about the law in 2018, which was called the Yarovaya law. They said all this, the NGOs, talking about the NGOs in 2018, they said all this because as of July 1st, 2018, the Yarovaya law began to operate in Russia, requiring telecommunications operators to store records of telephone messages and internet traffic of their clients for 6 months, as well as keys to decrypt user correspondence and provide them to the FSB of Russia upon request. Thus, there were legislative questions for Telegram on this basis that many other countries also had in connection with the technical parameters of its encryption system. For example, LinkedIn. LinkedIn decided not to play ball with the Russian Federation in 2018, and they can't be accessed in Russia. You can get to them with a VPN, but yeah, LinkedIn is a company that said we're not going to play ball and with this law, and they've been banned from the Russian market. The other big tech companies, most of the other big tech companies, decided to follow this law in Russia. Anyway, that is Pavel Durov. I hope I didn't go on too long, but let's talk about one more story. So all of this happens, by the way, all of this happens a day after Kennedy is endorsing Trump. How about that, huh? You're telling me the globalists aren't freaking out? Yeah, they're freaking out big time. So in the Middle East, we're getting closer to a war in the Middle East. From what I understand, I didn't really have much time to go into the story of what's happening in the Middle East, but I believe Israel launched a preemptive strike in Lebanon against Hezbollah, and today Hezbollah launched hundreds of strikes inside of Israel, hitting Israeli infrastructure, military infrastructure, and military targets. And we are getting very close to an all-out war between Israel and Hezbollah. So that happened today as well. And finally, let's do a clown world, and we'll wrap this video up. And Keir Starmer, since this topic is very much about censorship, Keir Starmer, who I guess you could say kicked a lot of this censorship stuff off in the UK when he decided to censor, or to try to talk about the UK government censoring likes and retweets and stuff like that. Keir Starmer, he wished Ukraine a happy Independence Day. Yesterday was Ukraine's independence, though I'm not quite sure what Ukraine is independent of. If they really are celebrating independence, I would say no, but they celebrated independence, and Keir Starmer put out a video message from 10 Downing Street. And in this message, he hit all of the talking points. As long as it takes until Ukraine is victorious, we stand with Ukraine. And then Keir Starmer finished off his video messaging by saying, Slava, you know what? And everyone that's watching this video, everyone understands exactly the meaning of Slava, you know what, where it goes back to, what it actually means. And yeah, Keir Starmer.
To the people of Ukraine, from the people of Britain, we send you our warmest wishes as you mark your Independence Day. I want you to know that we stand with you for as long as it takes, with whatever it takes, until victory, until a just and lasting peace. Slava Ukraini.
That's the video, everybody. TheDuran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Telegram, and Rockfin. And go to the Duran shop. Pick up some merch like this t-shirt that I am wearing today. The link is in the description box down below. Take care.